Okay, gang, so let's take a look at the product rule. So when you hear the word product, you think multiply. So what's going on here is x to the a power times, that little dot right there means times, x to the b power. And what does it, I'm not going to give that to you yet, but we're going to figure out what goes there. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I know that this right here should be filled out, but I'm going to wait just a second. I want to see if you can figure out how to fill it out. All right, so x squared times x to the fourth. What that means is that you have 2 x's here and 4 x's here. So if I were to expand that out, x squared basically means that you have 2 x's. And if you have x to the fourth, that means you have 4 x's. Think of it like this. If I were to be texting you and I would say, oh my gosh, that's so funny, laughing out loud, you don't write that. You would write LOL. So think of this right here as laughing out loud. We write it all out. And this is the shorthand notation, LOL. So in math, I don't want to tell you, oh, on this one we've got x, and then on this one we've got xx. I want to say we've got x squared and x to the fourth. It's just a faster way of writing it. So when you're solving a product, when you have something times something, expand it out. So this is x times x times x to the fourth is 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's the answer. And you're like, wait, what? Is the answer x, 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 x? Yeah, no, again, that's the laughing out loud. How many x's are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6. So my answer is going to be x to the 6th power. Okay, I'm going to try another one. A to the 9th times 3a equals. Okay, on this one, I'm going to come over here and I want to work this a different way. So I'm going to write this right here. I'm going to write example. And we're going to do another example first. Let's do x to the 6th times x to the 3rd. Okay, before I add a number in here, I want to do something even simpler. So x to the 6th. Well, you know now x to the 6th just means you have x, 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 right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's times 3 x's. I'm going to move that over. I keep moving it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well in math, we don't want to say, okay, the answer to this is x, 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 x. No, that's like too many x's. I just want to say, how many x's are there? Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 x's. So question, 6 x's times 3 x's gave me 9 x's. 2 x's times 4 x's gave me 6. What did I do? What is 2 plus 4? Oh, it's 6. What is 6 plus 3? Oh, it's 9. Okay, so you're probably thinking you know it now. So let's try this. Let's try x to the 7th times x. Let's just say times x. Whenever a variable, a monomial, doesn't have an exponent, it is understood that there is a 1 there. It's just common knowledge. We don't write it, but we understand that if it's nothing, it's a 1. So if we follow this rule, what should we get? X to what power? 7 plus 1 is 8. No, we're just going to check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, it is x to the 8th. Okay, so now you've come up with the rule without me telling you. If you have x to the a times x to the b, okay, this is algebra now. What did we do to the 2 and the 4? We added them. What do we do to 6 and 3? We added them. What do we do to 7 and 1? We added them. How do I write A and B and show that I'm adding them algebraically? A plus B. I bet you already did it. Okay, so that's overall, that's the rule. And now I'm going to show you something on the back of your book. We have that rule for you right here. It's called the product rule. Product means multiply. When you are multiplying the bases, you're going to add the exponents. That'll get a little confusing the further we get into this. All right, so on the exponents, we are going to add the exponents together. Okay, but the coefficients. Coefficients are when I have a number. What am I going to do with that number? Well, here we go. We're going to write this out. We're going to expand it out just like we were doing here. So 9 A's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Times 3, and then there's one more A. Okay, think of it like this. Now I'm going to rewrite this on this one because we're doing notes, but the 3, I'm going to put it in the front. And then I'm going to put all of this, the A's, behind it. 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 A's, and then this one more A right here. All right, so the 3, he's just going to stay there. There's nothing to multiply him with. But then I'm going to say, I'm not going to say 3 A. That's like when you ask Alexa to say 10 million times 10 million. And she says 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I don't know if y'all have done that with Alexa, but it's kind of funny. So there are 10 A's. So I'm going to do A to the 10th power. Oh, and there's my phone. Hold on. Okay, so I think my phone just rang when I was in the middle of that, and then I had people come in. So I'm going to go to number 3. I don't know where I left off. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so number 3. So on this one, I've got 4y to the 3rd power. Parentheses just means multiply, times 3y squared. So I'm going to rewrite this as 4 and then y to the 3rd. Remember that just means 3y, so that's y. And I'm going to use a dot instead of parentheses. 3 and then y. Okay, so remember, we need to put the numbers together and then put the y's. So I'm going to put 4 times 3 times y times these 2 y's here. Y. All right. I know 4 times 3. I've been doing that for years. It's not 7. It's 4 times 3, which is 12. Now, I strongly recommend when you are doing exponents, even though it is simple math, that you go ahead and do 4 times 3. And the reason why is because in your brain, when you're adding these and multiplying these, inevitably your brain is going to start trying to say 7. It always does. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 y's. 5 y's. So, 4 and 3, what did I do to those? I multiplied. So, up here, the coefficients. Remember, the coefficients are the numbers in the front. Those are numbers. What did I do to those? I multiplied. So we're going to say multiply the coefficients, but add the exponents. Okay, so here we go. Big one at the end. I am going to break it apart. Negative 72 times 1/2. Now notice on this one, I'm kind of doing it a little bit differently. X, and then I'm going to put the 3 x's here. X, X, X. And I'm going to mark them off. I'm going to put that y here. And then 4 y's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I'm multiplying. So I'm going to do negative 72. And remember when you do negative 72 that you do the negative, not the operation of subtraction. Okay, negative 72 times alpha y equals, and I'm going to put in 1 over 2. I could have put 0.5 if you wanted to. So that's negative 36. So these give me negative 36. 1, 2, 3, 4 x's, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 y's. And there we have it. All right, on to the next page. Here we go. I'm going to put that here because I'm making a mess. All right, so I'm going to give you a second to work on that one. I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to say negative 4, I'm going to mark it off, times negative 3, I'm going to mark it off. I'm going to put this a, mark it off, but this time I'm going to put a to the 4th and mark it off. B squared and b, c, and c to the 3rd. All right, y'all. We remember we're multiplying the numbers, but we're adding the exponents. So negative 4 times negative 3. We're going to be super careful. Negative 4 times negative 3, and we get a positive 12. Okay, so this gives me 12. 1a here and 4 a's here. Well, 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 here and 4, so that gives me a to the 5th. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna mark these off. There's too much going on. If there's no exponent, remember it's a 1. 2 b's here and 1 here give me 3 b's. 1 c and 3 c's give me a total of 4 c's. Bam! I am done. All right. Remember, you can go back and watch that again. All right. Oh, what? Negative 54 and 7. Okay. Well, remember, if you have x to the a times x to the b, all you do is add those together. You know what? Who cares that it's negative? What is negative 54 plus 7? Well, I don't know. Let me get my calculator. Negative 54 plus 7. It's negative 47. Okay. Because I don't know how to draw a negative 54. I mean, that's kind of weird. So I'm going to say this is f to the negative 47. Because all you do is add the exponents. All right, you think you got it? Think you're good? I'm going to give you 20 seconds to work this one. All right, so I expanded it out. Negative 6 times 1/2, a squared and a, b and b. Negative 6 times 1/2. So negative 6, I'm going to do the 0.5 on this one instead of doing the alpha y equals. Okay, so half of negative 6 will be negative 3. So this is negative 3 on those. 2 a's and 1 a give me a total of 3 a's. 1 b and 1 b give me 2 b's. And there you go. I hope you got it right, because we are about to do this big bad boy right here. Here we go. I'm going to tell you, put the numbers first, and then we're going to write it all out. So I'm going to cross off as I do it. 4 times, I'm going to look for numbers, 2. I've got an x, and I'm going to mark it off. Oh, you know what? Oh, this tricky. This right here is negative 1 x to the 3rd y to the negative 5. I missed that. So I'm going to put that negative. It doesn't matter where. I'm going to put negative 1 in the front because I missed it. I'm going to mark him off. Okay. Now, that negative, I'm going to mark this off right here because this is what I'm using. So 3 x's. I'm going to mark it off. And x to the negative 7. Y to the 3rd, y to the negative 5, and y to the 4th. Now, if you need to rewind it and see how I did that one more time, do that before you do this math. All right. 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times negative 1 is negative 8. I'm going to say that again. 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times negative 1 is negative 8. I'm going to mark these off. Count how many you have here. So, 1, and I'm going to use my calculator. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say 1 plus 3 plus, because remember you're adding everything, negative 7. 1 plus 3 plus a negative 7 gives me negative 3. Now, could you have done 1 plus 3 minus 7? Absolutely. Either way you do it, it works. So that is x to the negative 3. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, y's. Here we go. I'm going to do 3 plus -5 plus 4. Or I could have done 3 minus 5 plus 4. So I got 2 y's. So this is y squared. And there it is, y'all. All right. You have conquered the product rule. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, where's that at? There it is. Thanks for watching, y'all.